God delivers Israel by
Yeah.
Moses.
Yay!
I thought he had already done that.
He did already do it, but Stephen is reminding the people how good God is.
Oh, right. Remember where you all came from?
Exactly. So, yes. So, like you were saying, it's good to, if the doggy remember. But,
Right. I was asking if Freya remembered how she got there.
right.
Well,
So, do we remember how we got here?
do we remember how we got here? That's a very important question.
Yeah. We are in the book of Acts and we're in chapter 7 and we're starting at 17. So
17,
Acts 7:17.
7:17.
Mm-hmm.
But when the time of the promise drew near, which God had sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt. So, what was his promise to Abraham?
That
Land
that land and that his seed would be
multiplied.
multiplied like the sand on the
Uh,
and
safe to say.
yeah, the multiplication, he would tell them so many that you wouldn't even be able to count them.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Till another king arose who did not know Joseph.
Mm-hmm. Because it's many generations. So the legend of Joseph would have lived on for a few generations, but then you forget.
I forget who's
Mm.
Joseph.
Oh, Jacob's son Joseph with the colored cloth that
Oh,
came Jacob's son, that Joseph, and he helped them with the famine. And that's why they got to Egypt because,
that's how
because
they got there. Oh,
yes, because if they didn't sell Joseph into slavery, he wouldn't have become, he interpreted the dream, he became the second in command, right?
think about that the next time that you sell your siblings off to slavery. You could be
No.
starting an entire book. You're the entire reason this book happened. They wouldn't have
Mm.
been in Egypt if it wasn't for you.
Wow. I
That
know.
is something.
Well,
Wow. Stephen, really bringing it back. Full
bringing it
circle.
full circle, right? And the people that were listening would have known their history. I mean, they should have known at least. This would have been
They
what they
better have known their history.
right.
They
So
were in it.
he is
But
bringing it
then we say that now. Do we know our history now as it's unfolding?
right.
Are we as aware?
I know. Do we need reminders? Do we really need to remind ourselves what God has done for us in our lives just yesterday?
Or it's good to remind yourself so you don't forget.
He saved my life. He
Right?
did. Yeah.
Here's two friends. This man dealt treacherously with our people and oppressed our forefathers, making them expose their babies that so that they may not live. Talk about Pharaoh.
Yeah, the other Pharaoh now that's in
That's
the
why I paused.
yeah.
Sorry, everybody. The
No,
man. I was trying to
right.
figure out who the man was.
Right. So I think it's from verse 18 till then another king or
Right.
Pharaoh arose who did not know Joseph. This is many generations, and now there's this guy.
I forgot. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
At this time, Moses was born and was well pleasing to God, and he was brought up in his father's house for 3 months.
Oh,
Right?
that's cool. Yeah, because in the when you read Exodus, you don't know it's 3 months. You just know that
I thought he was born and then thrown into the river.
he was. But then remember that the sister kept an eye, and then they let the mother nurse him for a few months.
Oh,
So
okay.
they didn't know how many months, but now it says 3 months. So
Got
that's pretty cool because you don't really know how long it is back then, but here it is.
right. But when he was set out, Pharaoh's daughter took him away and brought him up as her own son.
And maybe he was 3 months before they put him in the basket. That's possible too. Maybe
Probably.
that's the 3 months they were talking about
Ooh, yes.
because he mightn't have been a newborn baby.
Well, until he was weaned.
But then later on, then when Pharaoh's daughter found him, she did let the mother nurse him, but maybe she nursed him
Oh,
at
she brought it back to her.
maybe, or maybe she had to go nurse him. I'm not sure. So maybe the 3 months was before, they
And
hit.
not to say mother, but I'm sure they had one pregnant woman that could
Yeah,
this
but it
child was
just
new.
happened to come right. I mean, only from what it says. It does say that. That's the only. I understand what you're saying, but
Just
they
like Pharaoh owned an entire race of people.
right.
It's
But
gotta
it,
be
I think it was just the timing because the daughter was there, the sister, and and she said, "Do you know someone that can nurse it?" But she didn't say, "I'm the sister."
oh, right.
She was just watching the baby.
Full story.
Yeah.
And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was mighty in words and deeds.
Hmm. Yay. Learned. We would have said taught, wouldn't
When
we?
he was learned,
Yeah, but he was learned. What's wrong with that? Learned.
well, it's a more, I don't know what I'm about to say right now, but it's a more complete form of learning. It was he done learning? He had learned all that he needed to about the Egyptians.
Mm. No. And when he was 40, see? So it's a lot of years, right?
Now, when he was 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. And seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended and avenged him who was oppressed, and struck down the Egyptians.
Mhm.
Another turning point, right? Because this is now where he's got to book it.
Yeah, it's right, right. It's at least the next day or whatever.
For he supposed that his brethren would have understood that God would deliver them by his hand, but they did not understand. Yeah, God had kind of figured it out before you.
Right. And he would have right. He was hoping that they would see that God was stepping in and not Moses, but they blame Moses, right?
Right, because he probably made it worse.
Mm.
Because they're probably like, you guys killed him.
That's what let's see. That's what's gonna happen, right? Like you said.
And the next day he appeared to two of them as they were fighting and tried to reconcile them, saying, Men, are you brethren? Why do you wrong one another? But he who did to his neighbor wrong pushed him away, saying, Who made you a ruler and a judge over us? Pharaoh's daughter. Do you want to kill me as you did the Egyptian yesterday?
I mean,
Oh
I think
no.
what
Oh
they're
no.
saying. Yes, exactly. Oh no. I think what they're saying is mind your own business is what he's saying, isn't he? But he
Which
also,
he should have the first time, dude.
but it
No,
does
no, no,
say,
but listen. To say they're oppressed, right? Avenge him who is oppressed. Just one of them, or you're gonna free them all. And maybe that's why God had used him to get him out, right? At the end of the day, you're not
mm,
avenging any oppressions. They were
mm,
slaves. It's
I
not
thought,
oppression. That's literally there was like that for hundreds of years before you got there, Moses.
mm, no. But in interesting in verse 27, the beginning of it is like, but he who did his neighbor wrong.
It's like needless human intervention, and it's God dealing with human free will in the best way that he knows how, making
Mm,
things right. He said, if that really was Moses' spirit in the moment, was that I am freeing this man from oppression, right? I'm avenging him. Things will be better after this, right?
right. I think that's probably what he
If that
thought.
was really the spirit behind it, that's great that God used Moses to get him out of there because he really did free them up from oppression.
I
Because
see.
killing one of the Egyptians was much worse than just getting them out of there.
Mm. And he had that spirit already, right? To fight for them.
Right.
Wow. Hmm.
Then at this saying, Moses fled and became a dweller in the land of Midian, where he had two sons. And when 40 years had passed, an angel of the Lord appeared in a flame of fire in a bush in the wilderness of Mount Sinai.
That's the burning bush, right?
Burning bush, dude.
Yeah,
When
back.
Moses saw it, he marveled at the sight. And as he drew near to observe, the voice of the Lord came to him, saying, I am the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses trembled and dared not look.
Mm, right,
And
because
the
God speaking.
Lord, well, he dared not look, but then he spent the next 40 years after this looking straight at God.
Mm-mm.
So much that his face shone, mother.
Oh no, his face did
And
shine.
he was the only one that got to look at him
No.
because the other people were too stiff-necked to turn around and look at him. Ooh, ooh. I still find it hilarious that he calls him that.
They're stiff-necked. And we are stiff-necked sometimes too.
You know, sometimes,
When you wake up in the morning.
right.
No.
Uh, uh, uh.
33.
Thank you. Then the Lord said to him, take your sandals off from your feet, for the place where you stand is holy ground. I have
Mhm.
surely seen the oppression of my people who are in Egypt, and I have heard their groaning, and have come down to deliver them. And now come, I will send you to Egypt.
Mhm.
This Moses, whom they rejected, saying, who made you ruler and a judge, is the one God sent to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel who appeared to him in the bush. He brought them out after he had shown wonders and signs in the lands of Egypt and in the Red Sea and in the wilderness 40 years.
There's a lot of 40 years.
So, ooh, maybe God gives you an opportunity to like complete your vision. Maybe he like enjoyed your vision in the moment and he was like, oh, shucks, it didn't work out, right? Because you can't control what the Israelites
Yeah,
are going to say, right?
right. Yeah, you're right. You're talking about Moses, right?
Who's to say that like they wouldn't have been happy as well? Like he killed an Egyptian at the end of the day.
Right.
You know? Not
But
to say, but
right.
like he's not a threat to you. Why be mean to him? Why be like short? Right? Why have that's a little bit of a pointed response, I think.
But in verse 27, it does say he who did his neighbor wrong. So the guy is already guilty, the one that's talking, right?
They're both having an argument, yes.
Yeah. But then his, it sounds like from the book, I mean, from what he's saying, that the other guy is the guilty one, the one that's speaking is the guilty one. He who did his neighbor wrong. I'm
Oh,
just,
and he's the one who said that.
yeah,
So that's not good like advice to be taken.
because it's coming from someone that's
Sinning. Well, doing something wrong.
right, right. That's what it sounds like, right? From what it says there. So, well, it's an interesting story, isn't it?
It
And there's
is
40
interesting.
years he had to go before. There's then he went and he lived and he had the two sons, and it's 40 years before the burning bush.
80. It's 80 years old and having kids.
He's an 80 years old. Wow. I think
Okay.
that's a peaceful thing, isn't it?
That is a peaceful thing.
Help us
We're
learn.
gonna find peace in this history lesson. We're
No.
laying the foundation for the burning of the Pharisees.
It's in the words, right?
With the word and hypothetically, but yeah, I think. Are we warming up the skillet now?
I see what you're saying. Yes, I understand what you're saying. Yes.
He's got to lay a foundation to whoop some butt.
Right. This is right. He's trying to get his message and he's laying the foundation for sure, right?
Right. Because
Amen.
there has to be level ground.
Yes.
At least they can meet on the foundation of God.
Lord, thank
This
you.
is all a quarrel about Jesus, by the way, at the end of the day, right?
It is. That's what they're accusing
It
Stephen.
is a quarrel of Jesus that's fought on the battlegrounds that God created,
Mm.
like the foundation, right?
Right. God is really right.
They're arguing about the stuff that
That right.
he set
That's
up, and then the human interpretation of it, which is the lives that we live.
right. That's what they are arguing about Jesus being Lord, right? And being God is
Is
really
that what he's trying to set up? The legitimacy of it?
yes, I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's see next time in a very
Yeah.
cool experience.